preschool on up through 12th grade. We have instruction for a whole week, not just with kids who find this place to be their local church, but also with the kids of the other churches and other neighborhoods of Galt. And the Backyard Bunch was something started by Rosemary Ann Aceto several years ago. When I first came to this church, I watched the Backyard Bunch. It was 8 years ago now. I watched the Backyard Bunch. Little kids have now grown up, and some have gone off, already left home, and were in Backyard Bunch when I got here. Backyard Bunch this year has been directed by a lady named Snickers. Snickers, I ask you to rise. Her name is Christine Santillan. She's a registered nurse, and she's going to be going to Estonia with her husband Tom, along with a team of 8 people coming from First Baptist Church. We're going to go to Estonia November 5th through the 18th. Her stage name, her behind-the-scenes name as stage mom, is Snickers. As well, we've got another lady named Kitty. Kitty, will you stand? So, Snickers and Kitty have co-directed the production you're going to see tonight. Kitty is also going to be going to Estonia, November 5th through the 18th, along with her husband, Rob Patterson, who is known as Coach to the Backyard Bunch. I take the term coach because if you're pastor, you got to be nice, but if you're coach, you can get tough. I don't know how tough a Kitty and a Snickers can get. I think they get pretty tough, but you ought to expect the coach to be able to yell once in a while when you need to yell. But the kids haven't needed that much yelling because they're cooperating. Tonight's been wonderful. Another person who's an adult who's been working with the Backyard Bunch is Mike McCall. And Mike, can you stand for a moment? Mike McCall is going to be playing the role of the bad guy tonight. So everybody go boo hiss. Boo hiss! But Mike McCall, he's also going to go to Estonia November 5th through the 18th. And Mike's going to minister in the Estonian churches. Last time he was there 3 years ago, he ministered in a Russian church. And his testimony was translated into Russian, went all over Estonia through a ministry he did at a train station one day, just playing guitars and passing out testimonies. Joe Patterson is going to play the part of the fiddler tonight. Joe's 17 years old. And he's also going to be ditching the United States in the local church in order to go on over to Estonia, November 5th through the 18th. So you see, a large part of the Backyard Bunch, God is giving this group of 5 people who've worked with these kids an opportunity to go overseas and to work with kids there. But I've tried to cast a vision for our Backyard Bunch that if they really enjoy performance, and if they'll learn songs, they learn how to cooperate, they'll learn how to take instructions the first time and follow through and be part of a team, that when they're teenagers, they'll most likely have the opportunity to get a passport and be sent from this place on an overseas mission trip, should their parents allow them to, or at least down to Mexico on a mission trip, or out to Clements or Wallace as we go and do vacation Bible schools there. Today, Pastor Chris, our youth pastor, worked in the children's church, along with 2 of the PKs, Jerry and Daniel Patterson. And the 36 kids that were in children's church today made cards because they were learning about missions in your local town, specifically missions to people who live in convalescent centers. So 36 kids made special I love you cards to go to Royal Oaks with us when we take a mission trip. The day before the team leaves for Estonia, we're going to have our local mission trip over to Royal Oaks, and we're going to take these 36 cards written by cute little kids in our Sunday school. Is Amy Sayer here?
She's making mochas.
Okay, Amy Sayer is a teenager. She's 15 years old. And she made like $75 or $80 this morning making mochas for people. And she's going to be manning the mocha booth afterwards because she, at the age of 15, is going to Estonia with us. She just got her passport. Her parents have entrusted her to the Lord. They're going to let her get on an airplane. Only the second time she's been on an airplane trip, she's going to go with us to Estonia. And hopefully we'll see some teenagers get saved. If you'd like to support that mission trip for Amy, you could buy a mocha, or just stop by and say, well, I don't drink coffee this late at night, but here's $20 for the cost. You're going to get to meet the Backyard Bunch up close and personal tonight, and at our stage curtain call, you're going to be able to see them, and you'll get to know what role they played. But I would like to point out a couple people. Actually, we've got time, just in case somebody shows up a little late. I'd just like you to meet Kian Zeller. Kian, can you come on up here for a minute? Kian Zeller is going to play young David, shepherd boy David. And his little brother, Kyle Zeller, Kyle is going to play the role of Jonathan. If you know your Bible, Jonathan was King Saul's son, heir to the throne. Mark McMillan, who's grown up in this church, is going to play the role of the first king of Israel, King Saul. Josh Morales, who has spent several years here in this church. Josh, oh, he's backstage. Let's go ahead and bring the screen up. Josh Morales, who has gone on mission trips to Clements and the Wallace with us. Josh Morales is going to play the role of old David, who's talking to his son Solomon about taking over the kingdom and about his childhood. That leads us to this kid here, Daniel Santillan, Cinder's son. Daniel is playing the role of Solomon. See, Snickers, that's what she does. She tells people what to do. She's in training to be a church lady. Katie Santillan gets to play the role of a man named Abner. So, forget the fact she's a girl tonight. She's a long-haired, Old Testament man named Abner. John Vargas is going to play the role of David's father, Jesse. Alex Cano is going to play the role of an Old Testament man named Eli. Jesse's son, Eli. Thank you, Old Testament scholars. Eric Fletcher is going to play the role of Nathaniel. Another one of Jesse's bigger sons. Nick Vargas is going to play the role of Abe. Cassie Morales gets to play a girl tonight named Abby. Ellen Detman will be one of our soloists tonight in singing in the role as Mary Sarah. Now, Natalie Potoff plays King Saul's daughter, Michal. And an Israelite. She'll be singing a solo along with King Saul tonight. Now, Aaron Noah gets to play the role of the prophet Samuel. Now, if you remember, every time you do a baby dedication, I talk about how Samuel, little boy Samuel's mother, took him to the priest, Eli, in the temple, and Samuel was raised in the temple. And God spoke to Samuel, and Samuel became a prophet of God. And Samuel, among other duties, he would be called upon by the people of God to give them a king. And he didn't want them to have a king like the other nations, but he went ahead and did what God told him, said it's okay, go ahead and name a king. So Samuel is the one who picked Saul out to be king, and then Samuel had a role when the kingdom was taken away from Saul. Samuel was to pick another king, and he would pick David. So you'll want to watch for that tonight. We also have Jacob Vargas, who's going to play a soldier tonight. Come on, Jacob. Everybody look back at the big light in the hole in the wall there. That's Barry Shelton up there doing the spotlight. Folks, he's the teenager. And if anything happens here, you cannot blame it on Barry because he's got an alibi. He was running the lights. Tara Zeller, she's back there. Spot the light out of the tent. She's running the sound. Sound and lights tonight. Virginia Parker, is she here?
Now it's time for bed, little Solomon.
Father, will I be king someday?
Yes, you will, my son.
Then will I be able to stay up later?
How about this, Solomon? When you become king, you can pass a law to cease all of bedtime.
That will be my first act as king. Tell me again, story when you became king, met Jonathan, and killed the giant Goliath.
Why should I? You just told me the whole story.
You tell it better.
I think you're just trying to stall bedtime. But very well. I suppose I should start with Jonathan. Now, his father, who was King Saul, was the very first king in Israel. And when Jonathan was old enough, King Saul had the wisest teacher in all the land. Jonathan had to take his place on the throne.
Today, Master Jonathan, we shall view the kings of Egypt and their families. Abner, do we have to go over that again? Yes, it is very important to relearn the history of royalty and the importance of being the ruler of a nation. Years from now, men shall study and the decisions you make. Really? Why, yes. You are the first child born of royalty in Israel. Everything you do sets a precedent for your future descendants. They will all look back to Jonathan to learn how a prince should behave. But what if I mess up? That's what I'm here for, to teach you how other princes act so that you won't make the same mistakes they did. Now tell me the name of the first king of Egypt. What does it say, Abner? Our armies are attacking the Amalekites. They are a brutal and vicious army. father is gone, I'm going to keep a constant eye on you. Oh, good. I'm sure to go with father. The Master Jonathan really must want to be anxious to fight and shed blood. That's what we pay the army to do. But it's so much more exciting learning whose side is who, which I know at which time. I want to learn how to fight and why my father goes to war. Heavens, no! How to use a sword and how to shoot an arrow. Master Jonathan, please, that's not all what I can use to know. A king needs to know when to stand, when to sit, when to curtsy, when to bow, when to smile. When to spit? No! There are things that you know you're forbidden to do, and habits you know you must quit. But to be a proper king, because you've learned certain things to be fair, to be a king. You must know when to defend or to deny a line of reasoning that's truthful or the death would be a lie. Every day, everyone, everywhere will be watching just to see if you are fit to be the end. To the throne and to rule over all of Israel, so pay attention to things that we say. And you'll be a proper king because you've learned these certain things to be fit, to be a king. But I want to know and see what more fight or just one on. And I want to see and win the victory before my foes come down the wall. I won't dance with you, don't love the way I first, so pay attention to things I say. 'Cause I'll be a witness king if I don't learn these certain things to be good, to be a king. You must know to be fair, hardly say, not to be true and fight, or to just for a lie. Every day, every night, how to win a victory before my foes. You are sound, be the Lord. You will rule this earth someday. Maybe then I'll get my way. So pay attention to things that we say, and you'll be a proper king because you've learned these certain things to be fit, to be a king.
As King Saul entered into battle with the Amalekites, the Lord spoke to him.
What did the Lord say?
Well, he told King Saul to attack the Amalekites and...
Dad, do the voice.
No, Solomon, please don't make me do the voice. Well, I guess. Thus saith the Lord, attack the Amalekites and totally destroy everything.
And then what happened?
Well, then I had to think of what to do next. I had this sword, and King Agag was bringing his sword down to chop me into pieces.
And then?
So, I tickled him to death.
Excuse me, sir, but the prophet Samuel has come to see you.
Good. Ah, Samuel, what message from God do you bring me?
I must speak with you alone.
Very well, run along, message pig. Now, what's on your mind?
You disobeyed the Lord's command to himself. He told you to destroy everything.
And I did. I destroyed everything.
Then why do I hear sheep?
What sheep? I don't hear anything.
King Saul, the soldiers are returning from battle, and they have spared the sheep and the cattle just like you ordered them to.
Well,
You were saying?
they're for sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice them up to God, right?
Oh yes, just for sacrifice, so yes.
You see, it's all for God.
God is not interested in your sacrifices. He wants your obedience, and since you reject him as God, he rejects you and your household as king. There will be a new king to take your place.
Wait, it was a simple mistake. Really? I'm not the model of perfection. There are things that I could do if could be done. Now you're serving me this notice of eviction from the throne, not just to me but to my son. You are counting sheep but putting me to sleep now. My kingdom for a cow, oh, what price? As if I had a place that I could go now. When October Eve, this ruler put on ice. But I will leave this kingdom, and somehow I'll recover from my fall.
Oh, you can't leave this kingdom. You still think you please on me, must be Saul. He has led us into battle after battle, and as a great king, he has always led the way. Now you're threatening to rule in disaster, the greatest king that's ever ruled this land today.
But I will serve my banishment, and though I am disgraced, I'll still walk tall.
Oh no, you can't serve this banishment, for there is no man that's greater than King Saul.
What can I do? What can I say? My public loves me, and you know it's that he ought to let them down.
There will be no other king we will live under, unless it is King Saul who wears the crown. To King Saul there is no equal, and to his monarchy we will remain. To King Saul there is no sequel, and no Jonathan will be the next to reign.
There you have it, Samuel, it's not my choice now. I am the servant to my people's will, and anyone who threatens mine or his crown, I'll throw him in the dungeon and have him killed.
To King Saul there is no equal, and to his monarchy we will remain. To King Saul there is no sequel, and no Jonathan will be the next to reign. To King Saul there is no equal, and to his monarchy we will remain. To King Saul there is no sequel, and no Jonathan will be the next to reign.
The Lord rejected King Saul because he disobeyed what God had told Saul to do.
Scene 3. Is that what you think, King?
Solomon, you're getting way ahead of me. Remember the proverb I taught you today?
A woman is like a constant dripping on a rainy day.
No. Not that one. Besides, it's a quarrelsome woman. And if your mother asks, I never said that. Remember to obey.
So there's the sacrifice.
Right. The Lord told the prophet Samuel to go to my father's house, and there he would show him who was to be the next king.
Did you know that you were going to be king?
No, I knew God had a plan for my life, but I didn't know what it was. I was a small boy with a head full of dreams.
All eyes rest on champion warrior of Israelites. David, son of Jesse, takes his mighty sling and with perfect aim swung at that sheep. Oh no! Wow, I hit it. He picks up another stone and with the strength of 10 men hurls it, yes, right on target.
David, what are you doing?
It slipped out of the sling. It must have been a crossbreed or something. I picked up and pow!
Wait till Dad hears about this.
You can't tell Dad, he'll kill me.
How much is it worth to you? Tell you what, you do all the cooking and cleaning for a month.
No way, that's women's work.
Okay, you asked for it.
That's not fair.
Well, neither are you.
What's going on here?
David is throwing rocks at the sheep, Eli.
It was an accident. An accident? Yes, well, I was born with being a shepherd. I want to be greater than just a shepherd. I want to be a great ruler, famous warrior.
He's trying to change the subject.
I am not.
You're too small to be a great warrior. And kings don't sleep with teddy bears.
I do not see this history. Besides, someday I will be greater than this children. I'll make history.
You'll be in trouble when I tell Dad.
Oh yeah, well you'll be in trouble when Dad finds out you want me to do all your cooking and cleaning for a month.
Us men up to women's work, right guys?
Yeah.
We watch the sheeps is. That's herd. Herd what? It's a herd of sheep. Of course I heard of sheeps is. No, it's a sheep herd. Actually, each herd is interchangeable. The flock is not intended decent, such as calling a group of lions a pride instead of a herd. Girls, I guess we should go take our place in the kitchen right now. Don't think too hard, boys.
Wait a minute.
Look, his father!
Eli, what's after the prophet Samuel has offered sacrifice at our house. Nathaniel, you can start the fire, and Abe, you can go choose the sheep sacrifice.
But I'm Nathaniel!
Nathaniel, you get the sheep.
But you told me to.
All right! You go get the sheep, and what's your face go start the fire.
You were supposed to be what's your face.
What about me? I need you to stay here.
But I'll miss the sacrifice.
I know, but this is the point that you have to lead the flock and continue.
All right.
So then were you king?
No, not technically. I was still just a shepherd boy. But I knew I was to become king someday, Solomon. Then Israel went to war again, this time with the Philistines. My brothers were in the army, so Father sent me with some food to see if they were all right. That's where I first met Jonathan and a Philistine by the name of Goliath.
Well, you wanted to see a war, Jonathan.
But nobody's fighting. That's because Goliath has charged our best fighters lately. Who is our best fighter anyway?
Good question. Troops, who among you will fight Goliath? Who will be the hero of Israel? Nobody?
You have to be kidding us. He's over 9 feet tall. You have to be crazy to fight him. He kills in no time. Or worse.
But I'll give you wealth.
Yeah.
My daughter's hand in marriage.
Ew!
How about a tax cut?
Yeah! Oh no, here it comes!
Girls in front, guys in back.
Well, they've heard of me in Joppa, even down in Sandy Eye. My name is feared all over, and I'm here to tell you why, 'cause I'm Goliath. Well, I'm a fighting man.
He's a fighting man.
Well, you can try if you want, but I'll make it talk. You can't defeat a fighting man. Now listen up here. Well, I'm as solid as my horror. I got a body like a god. I've been fighting since the diaper, since I've got the pretty part, 'cause I'm a lion. Well, I'm a fighting man.
He's a fighting man.
You can try if you can, but I'll mess up your plan. You can't defeat a fighting man.
Is he a epitome of perfect physique?
I'm actually Hebrew Terminator. Only that hasn't been thought of yet.
All who stand before him must admit defeat.
You can try your spears and bows and swords and shields and armor and all that modern technology. It just can't compete with Goliath. I'm a fighting man.
He's a fighting man.
You can try if you must, but I'll pound you to dust. You can't defeat a fighting man.
I'll fight you.
Is that a boy?
Yes, he's a boy. Yes, he's a boy.
I'll go home. Go home, kid. I'll go home play with your boy.
Not afraid.
He's not afraid.
Not afraid.
He's not afraid.
Come on now, Sonny, let's give up this your babe. You be whining, crying, screaming, trying, hitting, fighting, pinching, pulling, pushing, shoving, pouting, ruling. Giving me an all-around headache, man. Ain't no way, man. I ain't fighting no kid.
Why, you chicken?
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? One, slash it. Two, I can dice. Three, I can skin you and put you on ice. Don't you cry when you're black and blue. Well, you can do anything that you wanted to do, so cry when you're black and blue. Now listen to me, man. You've got that two-bit slingshot and the pebbles that you shoot. Sticks and stones may break my bones. I'm shaking in my boots, baby. Don't cry when you're black and blue. Well, you can do anything that you wanted to do, except cry when you're black and blue. Well, you can do anything that you wanted to do, except cry when you're black and blue. violin band. This is a family show.
For your bravery in battle, young, what's your name again?
David.
David, I hereby decree that you will receive a yet-to-be-determined amount of wealth paid in small, easy installments, a tax cut, and the hand of my daughter, Michael.
Wow.
You were great. How did you do that? I would have thought of, but I don't know how to type. All I get taught is history and religion and a bunch of other boring stuff. Do you think you could teach me how to type?
Sure. So Michael's your sister, huh?
You mean cow face? No, she's not. She's my sister.
You got a lot to learn. I kind of treat you with respect and be gentle. Watch this. Michael, you're the sun that rises in the morning. You're as wide as the Jordan River. You're as sweet as honey. You're lovelier than the cows in the Vashon.
Oh.
See, she loves me already.
What's wrong? I guess I wasn't so brave today. You'd make a better king than I would.
Well,
In fact, you will be the next king. The prophet Samuel said no one in my household could be king since my father disobeyed the Lord. Here, take these. I don't need these.
but this is your royal sword and robe. I can't take this.
Yes, you can. I covenant to always be loyal to you and to be your best friend, Your Majesty.
Jonathan, shouldn't you hate me for this? Shouldn't you want me dead so you can be king?
How can I go against what the Lord has said? Now, you're going to be the next king. There's a lot you're going to be done. As the kings of Egypt and their
You know what, Solomon? I'll never forget that day as long as I live. Jonathan taught me how to be a friend and how to trust in what the Lord says. Now, if only his father would have been as obedient as he was.
What happened?
Well, King Saul started to realize that the Lord's favor and all the people were turning towards me, and this did not make him too happy.
Abner.
Abner.
Oh, look, Abner. Oh, look, Abner.
Oh, look, Abner. The people have come to praise me and Saul for my victory over the Philistines. Go and get Jonathan. I would love for him to see this.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Pull it back just a little bit more.
Like this?
Yeah, now let go.
Wow, just like a real soldier. There you are. Put that dreadful thing down before you hurt someone. Abner, I know how to use it. David taught me. Ew. But I see you teaching you other things as well. Now come on, Jonathan. Your father is about to be praised by the people. Now we go. Now it's the song.
Nick.
Gather round so you can hear of this man who was so near to facing death but stood his ground, and now that giant don't make a sound. Tell your partner to quiet on down and spread the news all over town that Goliath's dead and gone for sure. A moment of silence for his sad departure. Swing it to the left. Swing it to the right.
It's all great, but David's better.
can play the harp.
I don't think he'd want to see you of all people.
So let's put him in disguise, Abner. Stolen.
Yeah, stolen. Sure.
Any song but that one. I get the point, Adam. So you must be the one who's good on the harp.
Liar!
What did you call me?
No. I play the lyre, not the harp, see? Anyways, here's a song I just finished.
Yeah, I know. The Lord is my shepherd, I will not be in need. I drink from still waters, and lie in pastures green. The Lord is my shepherd, He's my soul's delight. In His footsteps I'll follow, down the path of the right. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not fear, for with me Thy rod and Thy staff, they comfort me. He prepares me a full table before my enemies. The Lord is my shepherd, my cup overflows. I'm surrounded by goodness and the love He shows. The Lord is my shepherd, He is always so near. He will stay right beside me all of the rest of my years. He will stay right beside me all of the rest of my years. He will stay right beside me all of the rest of my years.
The Lord is my shepherd. Just remembering that has helped me through some rough times, Solomon. King Saul began trying to kill me, so I had to run for my life. I never saw Jonathan again. He died in battle along with his father and brothers. He always wanted to be a soldier because he knew it just wasn't meant for him to be king.
So when did you become king?
After King Saul died, the people came to me while I was in the city of Hebron. Representatives and soldiers from each tribe in Israel came to anoint me as king.
We are your own flesh but you have led us into battle against the Philistines, and the Lord said to me, you would shepherd my people Israel, and you will become their ruler.
I covenant to all of Israel that we will be the Lord's people, and there will be no other gods worshipped but Jehovah, and there will be no new taxes.
Yay!
It all finally made sense to me. I thought I was wasting my time watching sheep in a field, but God was teaching me how to watch over a nation. Solomon, there are going to be times in your life when, well, things are just going to seem confusing. You will feel alone, afraid, and you're not going to be sure of what to do. When those times come, remember what I told you. Remember that the Lord is your shepherd, and that He can make a king out of a little shepherd boy. And now, Solomon, it's time for bed.
We'd like to recognize co-directors Kathy Patterson, Kitty, and Snickers Christine Santillan. Can you give it up for these two directors? Ruth Parkinson helped with the costuming and crowd control. Ruth, you can stand. She's also going to Estonia. Tara Zeller on sound and lights. Jerry Patterson helping with house lights. Gary Shelton on the spotlight. Aaron Noah, take a bow as Samuel. Eric. Natalie Hutter as his cow. Ellen Getman as Mary. Sarah. Cassie Morales as Abby. Nick Vargas as Abe. Eric Fletcher as Nathaniel. Alex Tano is Eli. John Vargas is Jesse. Daniel Santillan is Abner. Daniel Santillan is Solomon. Take another bow. Katie Santillan is Abner. Josh Morales is Old Baby. Mark McGowan is King Saul. Mr. Mike McCall is Goliath.